LifeFlight of Maine's brand new helicopter will soon be taking to the skies. The nonprofit air ambulance service, the only one of its kind in the state, received the aircraft last Wednesday. This is the fourth addition to LifeFlight of Maine's fleet of helicopters that provide critical care to Mainers during emergency operations. Operators say the new helicopter will help standardize operations and boost response capabilities when every second counts.
The aircraft are safer because of their capability. It's standardized maintenance on the aircraft. And again, in order to provide critical care to the people of Maine for both scene calls, accidents, inter-facility transfers, all of that, the capability is increased due to the modernization of our fleet.
LifeFlight says once the helicopter passes inspection, it should be ready to fly in about